Our top story this morning, an intense day-long search for a missing 2-year-old has ended in tragedy. The boy, allegedly kidnapped by his father, was discovered lifeless Saturday in a trash can upstate. Richard Sharp reports. On the Crime Watch, police in SoCal have arrested 2 teens in connection with a drive-by shooting we first told you about on Friday. Senator Hillary Clinton is throwing her support behind an effort by Michigan Democrats to hold a new primary in early June. The Obama camp has been more skeptical about this possibility of redoing the primaries in both Michigan and Florida. NBC's Kerry Sanders reports from Miami, where the state's voters are a little fed up with their repeated problems when choosing a president. Flooding forcing thousands to evacuate neighborhoods from Arkansas to Ohio, and that is not the only weather concern. Heavy snow in the upper Midwest has created a travel nightmare for thousands of holiday travelers. NBC's Jeff Ranieri reports. Police in King City cracking down on people buying alcohol for minors. Action News reporter Brittany Nielsen rode along with King City Police last night. One-time IBM lab where engineers invented a forerunner of the modern hard drive has been destroyed in a 3-alarm blaze. We first told you about it yesterday morning. About 75 firefighters spent more than 8 hours battling the fire at the structure known as IBM Building Number 25. Barack Obama won the Wyoming caucuses, adding modestly to his slight lead in delegates over Hillary Clinton. There are only 11 contests remaining between now and June, but it's now looking like the nomination will rest on those so-called superdelegates at the convention this summer. Action News reporter Brian Moore has a story from our nation's capital. Hey, $5.20 a gallon for regular unleaded in Gorda.
Yeah, Gorda always has the highest prices. So
in the nation, apparently. I just read it.
In the nation, yeah. That's, have you ever driven through there?
I have, but I've never run out of gas in that area.
You don't want to run out of gas in that area, believe me.
I'm filling up on 65.
That's why it's so expensive.
You got it. Yeah. All right, no shortage of champagne. There'll soon be more bubbly in the world. The tiny region in France that makes those tiny bubbles is expanding. And as the CBC's David Common reports, it's a windfall for the few vineyards joining a very exclusive club.
Carlos Vergara is live in Miami with more.
Day 5 in the trial against Michael Siebert, and today the final witness, the alleged victim, and quite an impression she must have had on the jury of 6 men and 3 women. The body of 39-year-old Anna Nicole Smith will be transferred to the Bahamas by route of Miami International Airport. Here's how it will happen according to a Broward County Sheriff's Office press release. The driver, lucky to be alive, he went down this 45-degree precipice. I'm only halfway there. This is what's left of his car. It went end over end, side over side. Now he's considered to be a member of the West of the Highway 1 Club. Mind you, Tina, this is the 3rd hit-and-run case in less than a week in Miami-Dade County. 2 of those, as you said, being fatal. You'll recall early last week, a man had just moved here from New Zealand, was struck and killed on North River Drive. Then last night at around 6:30 in Hialeah, a man survived a hit-and-run there. And then last night, an elderly woman struck and killed on this very road behind me. Hi, Joel, as you mentioned, both officers just been doing fine after being treated at area hospitals. Now, interestingly enough, Joel, residents in this area say that this accident overnight now gives them another weapon in their battle to get a traffic light put up at this very dangerous intersection. Yeah, due to all the media coverage, Brian Bethel had really become South Florida's most wanted man. Just yesterday, 2 hours after we reported live at 6 o'clock from a Coral Springs Walmart, he was there again, allegedly using his latest victim's credit card. For example, at my feet, flames continue to consume what was this tree that was standing just yesterday. And I say 100% contained, but there are still plenty of health problems. If you could smell what I smell, you would certainly be making a run for it.
Spoke exclusively to our own Carlos Vergara, who joins us live from Miami. Carlos?
Yeah, the store manager here at New Way Supermarket doesn't want his face shown in our following piece, but he says he has no choice, or had no choice yesterday in fighting back. Only problem is that the fighting back spilled out into the streets.
Porque esta criaturita de Dios me dijo.
Leila Aburto says that by the very mercy of God, she and her son are safe. Her son, in a rare request, asked to go inside to study moments before shots rang out in her yard.
With a gun in my face, anybody could be scared.
It began at the New Way Supermarket at Northwest 34th and 22nd Streets when Matthew Felder allegedly tried to rob the store.
He looked at me straight, pointing the gun on me. But I was lucky I had my gun too.
That's when the manager shoots off 3 rounds from his own weapon. One shot goes into a box sitting on the shelf. The second one goes through that plastic divider you'll see here. But this is the crucial shot. Take a look at this. This is the one that went through the lower part of the plastic divider. That's where Matthew Felder was hit in the chest when he turns around as he stumbles out the door. Amazingly, the suspect, having taken around a hollow point bullet from a Glock 27 40 caliber handgun, manages to run a city block. Passam and another employee say they chased Felder through yards and over fences, all the while exchanging gunfire. 20-year-old Matthew Felder, already a convicted felon for another armed robbery, is expected to recover, but he now faces charges of armed robbery and 2 counts of attempted felony murder, among other things. Felder's former guardian up until 2 months ago says Felder fell into the same routine, even under probation for an armed robbery in 2002.
All the things that we tried to invest in him and put in him and instilled in him, it just went out the window.
Back at the New Way supermarket, Passam makes one thing extremely clear.
Don't come rob me because I'm not going to let it go. If I get a chance, I'm defending myself. That's how it goes.
Felder now faces life in prison if convicted of those charges. Meantime, police say that the store manager's actions may have been justified. We're live in Miami. Carlos Vergara, NBC6.
Carlos Vergara is live in Doral with the very latest. Carlos?
Yeah, the 5-day ordeal ended north of Elliott Key. The 19 refugees are battered but doing well, but not as well as one man we spoke to today. He recognized his mother, one of the refugees, from video that we shot earlier in the day. Now, regardless of how you stand on this issue politically, this is one of those stories that will pull at your heartstrings. Ángel, ¿cómo te sientes? Ángel Caballero says in his native Spanish that he feels fine, but along with 3 other Cubans will be checked out at a Homestead hospital before being processed and released. He's one of 19 Cuban nationals who made the harrowing trip by sea before arriving on American soil. ¿Sí? ¿Llegaron en bote?
Sí.
¿De cuántos años tienes?
17.
The 19, including one 4- or 5-year-old child and 3 other minors, were discovered walking the beach north of Elliott Key. ¿Están aquí en Miami?
En Nueva Jersey.
This man says he has family waiting for him in New Jersey.
Un bote rústico de allá de Caibarín.
But 50-year-old Amelia Lloren won't have to go so far. Pavel Bacallao hasn't seen his mother in 5.5 years, until today.
Yeah. She's my mom.
We confirmed his mother was among the refugees when we showed him video that we shot at the scene. Pavel and his wife are ecstatic. They say they'll have a celebration so that his 2 kids can finally spend time with their grandmother. Others may not be so lucky, but they were greeted with waves by bystanders.
Man was born to be free. Man wasn't born to be oppressed or dictated to. You know what I mean? I like to get up in the morning and eat what I want to eat, go where I want to go.
Now, the majority of the group is at Border Patrol headquarters in Pembroke Pines. They'll then visit a clinic, and then they'll be transferred here to the Migration and Refugee Services in Doral, where then they'll be released because they did touch American soil. We are live in Doral. Carlos Vergara, NBC6. That is it for today in South Florida this Friday morning. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, for news, weather, and sports information 24 hours a day, just log on to NBC6.net. Have a wonderful weekend.